If I told you this little piece of gear could replace your hat, scarf, sweatband, face mask, and even part of your sleep system, and still only weigh just over an ounce, would you believe me? Well, this little thing does exactly that. I've been backpacking and trail running for over 30 years, and I honestly don't hit the trail without at least one buff, sometimes two. So today I'm going to show you 10 ways how I use a buff while backpacking, trail running, or fast packing, and how carrying just one or two of these can replace a half a dozen things in your backpack. So if you're working on lightening up your pack and building that ultralight setup, start with this. A buff is small, simple, and ridiculously versatile. It's the kind of gear that reminds you that lightweight doesn't mean limited. All right, let's start off with the basics. Let's start with the one that almost everybody uses a buff for, and that's your neck gaiter. Your neck gaiter can be used just to keep your neck warm, or even to keep the sun off your neck if you need to on the trail. Now we'll move into the headband. This is perfect for when I'm out trail running or even climbing up a big mountain and I'm sweating a lot. It helps keep the sweat out of my eyes. Then something that I've recently learned, I always knew that I could take the buff and double it over and put it on my head and kind of use as somewhat as a beanie. But what I didn't realize before was that if I just twist it and then pull it back down over itself, it actually closes up the top and actually makes it a more traditional beanie. I use this thing all the time now, and it can easily allow you to now leave your beanie at home. Another one that most people use is your face cover. Moose wants to wear it also. Well, you can just pull it up from your neck, pull it up over your nose, and now you're covering your face for when the wind's blowing a little bit or the dust's flying. Now we're getting into the ones that you may not always think about, and this is to cover your ears. Now you can take it and even pair it with a hat if you really wanted to have a hat, and now make it like a sun hood. You can wear this to help protect your ears and the back of your neck from the sun if you're on the trail for long days. Now we can take it, and one that's not really as traditionally known is more of a pirate style do-rag. So if you take it and turn it inside out and then grab each of the corners there and then pull it in on itself, it'll then tie a little knot in about half of it. And so then you put it on as a more traditional do-rag there. And then it just takes the tail end of it and kind of puts it into a little bit more of a smaller footprint. Now this leads us into one of my favorite ones that I use almost every camping trip I go out on. So once you get it on, you can really kind of put it up to be as a balaclava. But if you notice that when you pull it up there, it starts to really just kind of bunch up and get in your face and do all this stuff. But if you'll take it and pinch it down like that and then pull it down from the top, that'll allow it to crease a bit and get all of that extra stuff out of your face. You can see right there where the crease is this now straightens it up to where if you wear glasses or anything else, you can even wear it during the day. You can also pair it with a hat. So if you're on a windy day or you're out running or you're up on the mountain and you're worried about your hat flying off, you can put it up above your hat to help hold your hat on as well. And then once again here, you'll see me a little bit more closely. Pinch it right there at a little bit below the bottom and then push it in. And then I can pull it down and then pull it back up there. And then now it gives that crease. So not only does this work well for your hat and other things, but I also use this a lot when I'm sleeping at night so I can just keep my ears warm, and if I want to keep, pull it up over my face for when I'm sleeping to keep cool. Now, because the buff isn't just clothing, it's also gear. So now you can use it as a pre-filter for silty water before you end up filtering it. You can also use it as a dish rag or a drying towel to be able to dry your dishes. And then 2, use this as pot holder. I also like to take it and put it over my air pillow, which this gives you kind of like a pillowcase there on your pillow to make it a little softer. But one thing that I learned here recently from one of you guys on my channel actually was then you can take and stuff in your down jacket and now add an extra layer of softness to that hard air pillow. I am so looking forward to trying this one soon. This is where Ultralight really shines. It's not about carrying less stuff. It's about carrying things that do more. If you really want to go pro with this, bring 2 buffs. A light synthetic one for running or warm days, and a merino or fleece buff for sleeping in cold mornings. Together they weigh just over 2 ounces total, and they'll replace your hat, scarf, balaclava, face mask, sleep hood, and sweatband, easily saving you half a pound or more in extra gear. So if you're building your ultralight kit, start here. A buff is small, simple, and ridiculously versatile. It's the kind of gear that reminds you lightweight doesn't mean limited. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and check out my sleep system review that I did here.